Good evening. I'd like to call the Governing Board meeting of the Lammersville Unified School District to order on Wednesday, May 21st at 7 p.m. This meeting is being live streamed and recorded, so I ask that you kindly turn off or silence your cell phones at this time. Members of the public are welcome to speak to the board on agendized items or during public comments for items that are not on the agenda. If you wish to speak to the board tonight, please fill out a blue comment card that you'll find in the back of the room. Tonight, we do have some special guests with us from Lammersville Elementary School. Principal Beck is here with some of her students, and I would like to welcome them to the podium at this time so you can lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Salute, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, for liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, President Boulay, trustees, and Dr. Nicholas. Thank you for having us here tonight. My name is Heidi Beck, and I'm the principal at Lammersville Elementary. Tonight, I have some ASB students with me, and they are here to present some of our recent events that have taken place at school. I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
My name is Mohammed Zorba.
My name is Olivia Forresta.
My name is Maria Jose Campos.
And my name is Sophia Orman.
Hello everybody, I hope your day is going well. We are here to present our successful events with you. Our first event we will be sharing with you is our annual St. Patrick's Scavenger Hunt. For this event, we took little mini leprechaun figures and hid them around campus. We had all students go and find the mini figures, and whoever found one got a special prize. This was successful for us because it brought joy to all students who participated.
Next is our spring dance during March 21st. We had many fun activities for our peers to take place in, some of which were rock painting, bracelet making, and bingo. These were all inside activities. Another popular station we had was face painting. Our outdoors activities were cornhole and beach volleyball. We also had chalk and hula hoops, however, there were no pictures taken of that. Our snack station was also successful, however, our snow cones were the most popular.
During the year, we hosted many Menchie fundraisers. This frozen treat was able to fundraise for our CJSF, ASB, 6th grade science camp, and 8th grade activities. Not only did it help us financially, it helped us relax after a long school day. During the year, we also had many dress-up days, where we dressed it up in many things, including sports, colors, PJs, accessories, costumes, and more. These brought joy and suspense of what others would wear the next day.
In late January, our ASB team hosted our annual movie night. We watched a kid-friendly movie called Garfield, and we also had a concession bar that sold drinks, snacks, and including a yummy baked potato bar. We hope to share our amazing ideas with you next year. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it, and we appreciate the presentation. You guys are welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting if you like, but I know it's the end of the school year, and you may have some tests or finals coming up, so you're welcome to leave as well. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Lisa Boulay.
Here.
Vanita Daniel.
Here.
Samik Modi.
Here.
Stephanie Olson.
Here.
David Pombo.
Here.
Devika Vitolani.
Absent.
I will note that we do have our the next student board member here. Donovan Rudish is here, and he is here in a volunteer capacity. So he'll be observing and getting comfortable here up at the dais. So welcome. Item 4, approval and or corrections to the agenda.
There are none.
Move to approve the agenda.
Second.
Based on a motion by trustee Olson and a second by trustee Daniel, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries with 5 ayes and no noes. Item 5, committee reports. District Advisory Committee, that is me, and we had our final District Advisory Committee meeting for the academic year just earlier this evening. Assistant Superintendent Sharp gave us a very nice presentation on the LCAP. We are finishing year 1 of a 3-year LCAP, and she talked about our 8 state priorities, our 3 district goals and how they relate to our state priorities. She talked about the actions for each of those goals and how those goals are measured in terms of success. Assistant Superintendent Sharp also reviewed our CASP results from last year, 2024, and compared those results to state and county results and how our subgroups are doing. And in summary, we are doing amazing in terms of comparison to state and county performance on the CASP. And then finally, she reviewed the budget and the actuals for each of those 3 groups. And that's all I have for District Advisory Committee. Item B, District English Language Advisory Committee, Trustee Modi.
Nothing to report.
Thank you. Item C, Education Committee, Trustee Pombo.
Nothing to report.
Thank you. Item D, Facilities Committee, Trustee Olson.
Yes, the Facilities Committee met on May 8th, and we are going to be updating the handbook, and that will come forward to the board in June, on the June 24th meeting. And there is a community member who filled their 2-year position, so there is a search for a new community member to fill that position. And the Facilities Committee had a member of the Mountain House City attend the meeting and request free usage of the theater on July 1st for the state of the city. And the Facilities Committee recommended approving this request and sending that forward to the board for a future meeting.
So I'd like to follow up on that a little bit. The original plan was to address that request at the June 4th meeting. Every year, Mr. Harrison gives an update on the facilities manual. However, I was contacted by the city, and they had requested that if they could get the maximum amount of time to prepare for this event, I guess I'm looking for board consensus to communicate to them that they can start planning. And then we will bring forward the formal facilities handbook changes as a result of the last meeting. So I was not anticipating that request, but it's been done, and I think my recommendation would be it would be a good neighbor effort on our part to give them a little extra time to plan something they hadn't done before. So if there's board consensus, we'll communicate to them, and then at the June 3rd meeting, that will be updated in the board handbook, or the facilities handbook.
Okay, are there any questions or comments from the board regarding consensus for allowing or letting the town know that they'll be able to use the theater?
I have a question. So we have always used the theater for our school-related activities and events. Is this the first outside of school event that we are?
So I think there's 2 answers. Mr. Harrison will have a better memory. We have let the theater be used by outside agencies.
Correct.
However, this is the first time we've been requested by the city for an event like this. And with the city, a nonprofit organization, our other programs, we've worked with them, the pool program and the tennis program have come with requests for fee reductions. So that's new, why he would have to update the facilities handbook. Is that correct?
Well, we don't necessarily have to update the handbook, but I would bring it forward as a discussion item based on the Civic Center Act, which is what we use to create our handbook. Meaning we can share facilities through fee structures or with nonprofits, non-fee structures. The only requirement is that the school is not using the facility or need to use the facility. So the agreement with the city would be, a handshake, and our people would be there, making sure that all of our rules for the theater are followed.
Any additional questions?
I'm just trying to process. So we will have the handbook where you're going to specify the fee that they will need to pay for us, or is it like they have a reduced fee because they are a nonprofit? Is that what is going to be updated in the?
So there's two separate things going on. The handbook is going to come to the next board meeting on the 4th for our annual update. The sub-board committee met at last week, and we made all our updates and changes to the handbook that go every year. This item for the city is kind of a separate item, but it falls under the agreements that we have in our facility use handbook where government agencies can use our facilities under the Civic Center Act and board policy in AR 1330, which declares that we can share our use of our facilities to either charge or not charge as we see fit, which occurs in our handbook. The rules are laid out in our handbook.
Okay, great. Thank you for explaining. So you said charge or at no charge, right? So do we know what we are planning to do?
My understanding from the facilities committee is we agreed that we should allow the city to use our facility free of charge for the citywide event that's going to involve all our students' parents and people of the community that use our facilities. We have had partnerships with the city a number of times in the past, from reduction of fees for pool use, pass-through fees for the tennis courts, classroom use for Bernice Tingle's YAC committee, which involves our students. She uses a classroom, and a couple other things I probably don't remember right now. But there's always the understanding that we're following our rules, we're following our board policy and our handbook whenever they use it.
Thank you.
Is it fair to say that our costs to the district will be minimal?
That is correct. So we're going to have students work the event similar to the TED Ed event. So it's a learning opportunity for them. There would be a nominal amount of cleanup so that the custodians would do the cleanup during their workday. So the really only loss would be a rental loss, but that would typically with the city, it comes with a request for no fees anyways, or lower. Okay.
So
And it's not like we're renting it. We're not losing another rental opportunity on that date anyway.
So just as a summary, this consensus that we're looking for is to allow the town to use the theater and just give them a little couple extra weeks heads up.
Correct.
So that they can send out notices that this is actually what's going to happen. This is going to be the time and the place, and yeah, we have a place to do it. Does that make sense? So do we have consensus?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, you have consensus.
Thank you.
And can I just correct? I said that the handbook would come to the June 24th meeting because I didn't read my own handwriting well. I meant June 4th.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else for Facilities Committee? Trustee Olson?
No, that concludes my report.
Thank you. Item E, Policy Committee, Trustee Daniel.
Nothing to report.
Thank you. Item F, Safety Committee, Trustee Pombo.
Nothing to report.
Thank you. And item G, Wellness Committee, Trustee Olson.
Nothing to report.
Thank you. Item 6, Governing Board Reports, Trustee Modi.
On May 15th, attended the Hanson Open House, where my kids attend school. Really good to see the whole year's worth of work that is displayed there, and the progress for a lot of the kids. It's always just another good opportunity to get into the classroom and see the good work that our staff and teachers do on a daily basis. On May 16th, attended the CTE Pathways Capstone Night with Trustee Olson. On May 19th, I should mention, the number of students that were recognized at that capstone event was tremendous. I should have counted, but it's got, I don't know, I don't even want to estimate. It's got to be somewhere around like 100 to 120 or, I don't know, 150 or something like that. It's high. And to see all the variety of different pathways, which for me was a little bit of an educational, moment, was just inspiring to be in a district that has all these options and opportunities for our students. So, kudos to the staff for supporting that program and for doing the work on a daily basis. On May 19th, I attended the Black Parents Success Group Achievement Night at the high school. It had some attendance, probably less than I think they had hoped for, but it was really nice to hear the the stories and the learnings and takeaways from not only the students that were there, but also the parents and the experiences that they've had both in their personal lives and how really, impress upon their children to make good decisions and focus on, what's in front of you and really try to help our Black students achieve as much as they can and as much as every other demographic can. So I was happy to attend that. And that concludes my board report.
Thank you. Trustee Daniel?
Thank you, President. On May 21st, that's today, I attended the Altamont Schools ASB election speeches, and it was just so interesting to hear all the kids say that we are not promising no homework, we are not promising no Chick-fil-A for Fridays. And they were so honest with their promises, but they did promise good memories throughout the year. So that was one event that I attended. I heard Trustee Modi talk about the CTE pathway, and I've always been there every year. And it's always been such a great event to see our seniors and all the students go through different pathways and excel in each one of them. I did happen to miss it this year. On personal front, I had to be there for my son's graduation, so that took precedence, but I would like to congratulate all the kids who went through the pathway. I would also like to share that I do have to undergo a treatment, an Ayurvedic treatment for 14 days, and I do have a aftercare for 12 days after. So I will be missing the July 16th, I'm just looking at the dates, and August 6th. Let me just get the dates correctly, because my treatment is from July 14th till the August 28th. So I will be missing the July 16th and the August 6th, and I will be back here on August 20th.
Thank you.
I appreciate your understanding, and I apologize for any inconvenience that my fellow trustees have. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Pombo?
First of all, I would like to wish Trustee Daniel luck with her treatment. I know those can be trying sometimes.
Thank you.
On May 8th, I attended the Facilities Committee meeting. On May 14th, I attended the Epic Expo. Always fun to hear the kids talk about their work experience and what they plan to do in their future endeavors and whatnot. I very much enjoyed that. Then later that evening, I attended the Cordis Open House, and I was able to visit every classroom, at least every classroom that was open. Enjoy seeing the work that the kids do and saying hi to the teachers and whatnot. Then I attended the Cordis PTA meeting where they voted in a new board for next year's PTA. On May 15th, I attended the Hanson Open House, where I also was able to visit every classroom that was open. And as I said with Cordis, I always enjoy seeing the kids and their work and saying hello to the teachers and parents and whatnot. On May 17th and 18th, I attended the CSBA Delegate Assembly meetings in Sacramento, where we discussed the stances that CSBA is taking on state and federal legislation, among other things. On the 19th, I attended a CSBA May Revise webinar. I sent the recording of that webinar to the rest of the board for them to check out, and that concludes my report.
Thank you. Trustee Olson?
Thank you, President Boulay. I'd also like to extend my well wishes to you, Trustee Daniel, and I hope all goes well. And that, I'm here to support you any way I can if you need it. On May 8th, I also attended the Facilities Committee meeting with Trustee Pombo. And then on May 14th, I attended some orchestra, choir, music awards at the high school, after which I gave a very short report to the City Council meeting. End of the year report tends to be short. On May 16th, as Trustee Modi said, I attended the Capstone Pathway Awards. And if I can read my handwriting correctly, I believe Mr. Shum said there were about 314 Pathway capstone students, maybe 341 if I got that wrong because my handwriting. But like he said, what was really great was one teacher spoke about how there's a pathway for each kid and they kind of find a place, and some of them are very highly academic, but some of them are just really a place where a kid can take a break from that intense AP stats or AP calc class and express themselves, and that we give our students those options makes me overjoyed. And some of those students, I don't know how they got multiple pathways, but the program said 2 pathways. I saw 2 chords, and I'm very impressed. On May 17th, I attended the WSF, BSF, QSF Trivia Night, which was a very fun event with Trustee Boulay. We were on the same team, and I'm going to let Trustee Boulay share the results because I know that's also probably something she wants to share, but very, very great results, can I say? And that concludes my report.
The suspense.
Thank you. You have to wait till the end, though, because I'm going to start with May 8th. On May 8th, I attended the last couple of matches of the boys' high school tennis section semifinals. It was a great match. It came down to the very last match, but they won it, and they went on to the section finals the following week. I didn't go to that. It was far away. On May 15th, I attended the boys' high school tennis team awards ceremony. And then on May 17th, I also attended the trivia night that was hosted by BSF, WSF, and QSF. And before I share the results, I would like to say that I love seeing that collaboration between the school foundations and getting parents from multiple schools together to socialize and compete. And yes, we did win. Although I'm not great at trivia, I didn't have a lot to offer. So I had a couple of questions answered, but the rest of the table really carried me. And then in terms of advocacy for our students, I contacted Representative Harder and asked him to reject the proposed cuts to Medicaid and SNAP. This is a move that could very well affect our kids, particularly with chronic health needs, disabilities, and food insecurities. And that concludes my report. Item 7, receiving of public comments. I don't have any blue comment cards. Is there anyone from the audience who would like to make a comment? Seeing none, I will move on to item 8, consent items for consideration. Actions proposed for consent are consistent with the approved practices of the district and are deemed routine in nature. Trustees receive board agenda background information in advance of scheduled meetings and are prepared to vote with knowledge on the consent items. Item A, governing board meeting minutes from the regular meeting on May 7th. Item B, contracts under $50,000. Item C, ratification of certificated and classified personnel actions. Item D, updated 2024-2025 fundraisers. Item E, new 2025-2026 fundraisers. Item F, ratification of 2025-2026 inter- and intradistrict transfer requests. Item G, approval of early high school graduation or reduction of graduation requirements petition for 1 student. Item H, ratification of budget revisions and warrant list for April 2025. And item I, acceptance of donations, $500 from the Blackbaud Giving Fund for Miss Javier's classroom at Hanson Elementary School. Would any member of the board like to pull any of these items for discussion or special consideration?
Move to approve consent items.
Second.
Based on a motion by Trustee Pombo and a second by Trustee Daniel, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with 5 ayes and no noes. Madam Clerk, would you please do the honors?
A pleasure. For the 2024-2025 year, we'd like to welcome Sheridan Asaf, Salvador Sendejas, Melissa Gonzalez, Vandana Koda, Nicole I forgot to read their positions. Sheridan Asaf, Personnel Technician, Salvador Sendejas, Custodian 2, Melissa Gonzalez, School Secretary 1, Vandana Koda, ELOP Instructional Aide, Nicole Tobias Cooks, K through 8 Food Service Lead, Joshna Yampati, Instructional Aide, and then for the 2025-2026 school year, Lori Francis, Kindergarten Teacher, Justine Green, Special Education Teacher, and Kamal Gupta, CTE Business Teacher. Welcome to the Lammersville family.
Thank you. Item 9, District Administrative Reports. A, Superintendent's Report.
Yes, I just have one item. We have a program at the Epic Academy at our high school, and they had their culminating, we'll call it a capstone event. I believe it was last week. So we had some pictures that we wanted to share, and in particular to shout out Jayla, who is our intern here at the district office, who worked in the reception area, a very positive attitude, a very professional young lady, and we were very proud of her. And our first intern is finishing up her first year of college at Grand Canyon University in Arizona, and she's doing great. She just was by the other day. So we wanted to share these. The picture on the upper right, the gray-haired gentleman, we don't know who he is, but Jayla's in the middle, and one of her mentors is Noelle, and they did a great job working together. And that is my report.
Thank you. Item B, District Enrollment Report.
Preston, I have a question. So, Dr. Nicholas, how many students do we have at this point?
In the EPIC program?
No, the total number.
The total? 8,033. And we're projecting a much larger number than that to start the school year next year, a few months from now.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that was the District Enrollment Report. Item C, District Maintenance and Operations Report. Director LeGrand is here tonight.
Good evening. Thanks for having me. No operations report tonight. Ground's been pretty hot, so we're still watering 5 days a week in all of our fields. I looked at the 10-day forecast this morning. It's supposed to be possibly as high as 100 degrees towards the end of next week. So we'll increase the watering next week if we need to. Just in time for graduation, right? 100 degrees at the stadium on Friday night. Also, with the warmer weather, we're having some HVAC calls. We had 3 rooms at quarters that were down. 2 of them got fixed on Monday. The parts for the other room are supposed to be in tomorrow, so it'll be fixed tomorrow or Friday. We had a major failure in the multipurpose room at Altamont. We lost all 4 compressors on AC Unit 2 for the building, and we lost 1 compressor on AC Unit 1, one of the 4. So promotions next week, we're gonna do our best to get it fixed before Thursday night. If not, we may have to bring in some supplemental cooling for the building. The pool's been good this week. Last week was really difficult. I received a call earlier in the week that the water temperature was low. I went there, it was about 74 degrees. I looked at both heaters, they were both online. I tried to reset them. They ran for 5 or 10 minutes and they tripped out again. So I had to call our HVAC company and look at those. The solar was also shut off for some reason. I don't know why. I turned that back on to help increase the temperature. It raised it about 2 degrees to about 76. And the HVAC company came out the next day. They were able to get 1 heater going, and the next day they got the other heater fixed, and everything's running well now. I checked the water yesterday. It's like 84 degrees, like a hot, so a little 400,000 gallon hot tub there at the high school. So nice and warm. Then radios. Most of our radios are Kenwood, our walkie-talkie radios on the site. We've been having trouble with our vendor we're using. They're not a licensed Kenwood dealer, so we've been having trouble getting new radios and having trouble getting our current radios fixed when they're broken. I was able to find a new vendor in Sacramento. They're a licensed Kenwood dealer. On Monday morning, I took a box of about 30 radios up there in various states of repair. I asked them to give me a quickie summary, yes, no, fix. I think a third are probably no good. A third can be fixed, and I'm not sure about the middle third. So that'll be helpful for us. We've been also having problems with the Kenwood repeater at the high school for the high school campus. We sent it to our old vendor. They sent it back to me last Thursday. I put it in Friday. It worked all day fine. Monday morning, I got a call. It was out again. I reset it. Tuesday morning, same thing, out again. So I'm trying to get that fixed. I don't know what's going on with the power supply, but it's not staying active. So anyways, I'm talking to the new company in Sacramento with ideas how we can get that fixed. So Wednesday, May 14th, the grounds guys attended the Epic Academy presentations. It was funny to hear their perceptions of our department, what they had to do, what they liked, what they didn't like, advice for future students. And I just want to thank our grounds crew who had 4 interns basically all year. I appreciate their effort. They took an interest in the kids, showed them what they do for a living, and not just, it wasn't just a baby thing. They really got involved with the kids and helped them. And it's one of the students commented he's looking forward to coming back next year. So I guess we did a decent job. Updating our projects, the classroom building at the high school, everything's wrapping up nicely. They're putting the sod in now. The punch list walk was today. We had a construction meeting today. The fire alarm is now connected to the main campus, so we're monitoring both buildings with our current fire alarm system, so that's a good thing. We're still going to be wrapped up into June, and the furniture's coming the first week or so of July, so we're ready to go for school. The kitchen at Lammersville, the only thing we're waiting for is this very expensive sneeze guard to go across the front. It had to be custom made because of the depth of the countertops and everything else. That's the only thing we have left to do on that one. Then that project will be closed out. I happened to be at Lammersville today around lunchtime. I asked the ladies how they liked the kitchen. They said they loved it, so that was nice to hear. It's a good thing. Summer projects for us, we have big summer projects, 4 big projects, and they're on the board agenda for later on, so I want to highlight and go over them a little bit. First is the asphalt project at Lammersville. We are basically going to touch the whole campus, either repair or seal coat and stripe the whole campus. The playground between the warehouse and rooms 3 through 6 is getting replaced. It's in really bad shape. The driveway from the office all the way down to the bus loop is getting replaced, and everything else is getting seal coat, crack sealed, and restriped. So, second is the recoating at Wickland. Wickland's our 2004. The roofs are 20 plus years now. There's bubbling. There's stuff that has to be repaired, and Wickland had the most roof leaks last year of any school in the district, more than all of them combined, really. So we're going to seal the roof with acrylic. It's white. It's almost, I compare it to like an undercoating your car. It's a rubber thing goes over top of it. It's going to add 15 more years of life to the roofs, which is a good thing. Way cheaper than replacing all the roofs. The third for us is a septic tank at Lammersville. It's been giving us problems the last couple of years, been backing up. The last year or so, we have been pumping it out every single month to keep to have any future backups. So I got in touch with the engineer. We have to do some stuff for the environmental health department of the county, approvals and so forth. He's going to help us with that. He's going to design the system to either repair, replace, or so on and so forth. And once that's resolved, we'll bring in a contractor in to get it completed. We used a contractor back my first or second year here to replace a septic system that used to be at the old bus barn. So we'll probably bring him in. He did a good job for us, or if there's anyone else we could find to do the job. And that work will be done this summer before the kids come back. They guarantee it'll be done by August, so it's a good thing. The fourth thing is our lovely state of California. You can't buy fluorescent lights anymore in California. So we have a long process of light replacement or upgrading to LEDs. We're going to start the process at at Wickland and the multipurpose room, the 300 wing. You may be wondering why we're not starting at Lammersville. Lammersville has PG&E. PG&E has programs that we could potentially get the LED upgrade for free or a reduced cost. I'm working through that. All the schools in Mountain House at MID, they don't have those kind of programs, so we're starting with Wickham, which is our oldest Mountain House school. That's why we're starting there. Upcoming items, so another school year is rapidly coming to a close. Number 36 for me personally, which is depressing because I have staff members that aren't 36 years old. So I'm feeling old every day. So we are preparing for all the K-8 promotions Wednesday, Thursday night, and then the high school graduation Friday night. And staffing update, we currently have no openings. So happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
And item D, cafeteria financial report, April 2025.
Before Bernie gets going, as a brother of a food service director in a local district, I want to say that it's one of the most underappreciated entities in a school system. People just assume it's easy to get food from wherever it's made to the mouths of young children. It is not. It's a difficult job. Keeping people working for the team with a smile on their face, with little kids running through, and now they have to pour milk into a garbage can, and all of the complications. We are very lucky to have Bernie Hill working for us.
Thank you. That was very kind. Good evening, Dr. Nicholas, governing board members. The LUSD cafeteria staff have been very busy this year. As of April 30th, we've served about 509 meals as of the end of April. That's both breakfast and lunch. Our revenues to date have been approximately $4.6 million, and our expenses are approximately $4 million, which leaves us about $600K. Those numbers will change slightly in the next couple of months. 2 years ago, we were put on a spending plan. If we have an ending fund balance that is more than the 6 months of our expenses total, the state comes in and asks for a 5-year plan. So we have given them a 5-year plan. So far, we've used those funds to purchase a delivery van, dishwashers for 2 schools, a small refrigerator. This year, we were able to fund Lammersville kitchen remodel, a new combi oven for the high school, and professional development opportunities for our staff. To date, we've spent about $990,000 of the $1.7 million. So we're still spending. Speaking of the kitchen remodel, there's a picture before we actually moved in. I was able to give a few people a tour, but we are very proud of this kitchen, and we thank Jimmy and his staff for all of their hard work in getting this up and running. It took longer than we thought, but we weren't surprised. Thank you to Angela and Sonali, who are the kitchen staff members there, for their patience and their unwavering commitment to serve the students during this difficult time. They prepared food at Bethany and drove it over to Lammersville twice a day for 7 months. Their dedication is unwavering to the students there. As you can see in the picture, the kitchen's outfitted with the latest technologically advanced equipment. It's quite amazing, and Angela's done a good job trying to learn it. She's a little afraid of technology, but she's doing a great job. As our district continues to grow, I wanted to make sure we weren't falling into the trap of this is the way we've always done it. So I found an opportunity to have 2 consultants come into our kitchens to do what we called a fresh eyes consultation. Chef Kent and Chef Laura, both previous school food directors, spent 4 days in our kitchens, giving us some helpful insight. They pointed out possible findings that might come up in an audit, gave suggestions for improvements in food practices, food aesthetics, kitchen and serving setups, and long-term projects. In addition to some procedural suggestions, they took some time out and taught our kitchen staff at the high school how to make a homemade ranch dressing, which could be converted into 2 other dressings rather than us purchasing it. They also spent some time at Wickland and did some roasting of some fresh vegetables and gave them some tips and tricks on what they could do there. It was a busy 4 days, but it was an incredible opportunity. There's my picture of them at Wickland. For the first time, this district was able to take all of our leads to our annual National California School Nutrition Association Conference in Sacramento. It gave the leaders of our department an opportunity to learn from several different breakout sessions, attend the food show, and really learn what it takes to make decisions about purchasing food and equipment. But mostly, it gave them the opportunity to commiserate with one another, and they came back with a renewed sense of team, and that was really wonderful to see. We continued to participate in the Chef Ann Foundation pre-apprentice and apprentice programs. We had 14 employees participate in the pre-apprentice program this year, and we had 2 employees participate in the apprentice program. The enthusiasm for this program has been uplifting. It's given each of them a better understanding of what it takes to run a department like this, as well as a vested interest in what happens in their own kitchens. To give you an idea of what they're doing, we have one cohort at the high school who's taken it upon themselves to look at our food waste. They found that when they sliced the ham for sandwiches, there's an end piece and it was getting thrown away. So they're chopping it up and they're putting it on pizza to make a Hawaiian pizza. They found that fillets of chicken come in and there's broken pieces, which have been previously thrown away. They have taken extra grapes and apples and made a chicken salad, and they're using them in sandwiches, salads, and boxes, and the students are going berserk over them. They love it. So I'm excited to say that we have 2 more employees moving forward with the apprentice program, and I'm excited to see what they bring to the table. Our plans for the coming year are to replace ovens at Cuesta, Wickland, and Bethany. We also are in desperate need of a new dishwasher at Cuesta. Some of our other plans are to incorporate more of our scratch cooking into our menu items. At the K-8, we're bringing chana masala to our lunch menu. And at the high school, we'll be serving ramen bowls during the colder months with a homemade vegetarian broth. For our breakfast menu, we're trying to feature some more protein-driven items, such as a breakfast chicken sandwich and a new yogurt parfait with a reduced sugar yogurt. To support our movement forward with scratch cooking, we're looking for more professional development opportunities within our department. We're busy, but we're never too busy for visitors. I'd like to invite each and every one of you to come have breakfast or lunch with us if you ever have the chance. Thank you. Any questions?
I just want to say thank you for that invitation at the very end, because I was going to ask, but I didn't know if that was appropriate to ask.
100%.
So yes, I'm excited.
Please. Any kitchen you'd like.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I have a question. At the beginning of the presentation, you showed that there were 900 and some odd thousand
2,509
meals served.
Yes.
I'm assuming by the end of the school year, that will be a much higher number.
It will.
Do we have plans to have a banner that says over 1 million served? McDonald's?
If we hit it, I can do that. Yeah, absolutely.
I can help with it to make it 1 million.
We'll see. Summer school and ELOP might push that over. Yeah.
Can I just say, as you gave that presentation, which was very thorough, so thank you. I was in awe of every point that you conveyed. So, one, the openness that your department has shown with the consultancy to see, what we can do better. I love that. The number of meals, right? So, what was the number? 962,509.
Yes.
That is more. I hope people realize that is more. That is the largest food provider in Mountain House.
It is.
Even if it was a real, well-developed city. Right, and so that is, if 200 meals were served at a restaurant today, that is 13 restaurants that your team operates, and that's if that was every single day of the year. So just hats off to you and the team for consistently providing nutritious meals for our children. It is incredibly important for them to be fed both breakfast and lunch, whether they get it home or at school. So I just love everything that you guys do. I don't know if everyone goes through the cycle, but at least in my home, because of my kids at that age and attending school, every now and then it's like, what's for lunch today, right? It's not just something that happens during the school day. It is a topic of conversation at our home at breakfast of what's for lunch today. And then you'll have one kid who says, I love it. And another kid will say, I don't know about that one. And we got to hope that they eat a few bites. And what surprises me sometimes is just the variety of food that I consistently see as new. So the latest my learning was I think a potato bowl with some plant-based chicken nuggets.
Yes.
At least that was a vegetarian option. And so even just to hear you mention additional options that you guys are looking at is just, again, I was in awe of all of these things. I think you guys do a great job. It's a vital service that you guys provide to the district and to our students. I can't thank you enough.
Thank you so much.
I would like...
Go ahead.
I just want to say that was an excellent presentation, and thank you so much for sharing all the updates. I had the pleasure of visiting the new kitchen along with Trustee Belay and you. So I did get to meet Angela while I was visiting the Lammersville school, and I did get to ask her, so how's the new kitchen? She's very happy, and she's enjoying the new kitchen. So that's just amazing. And your new menu items sound delicious. And I'm so glad that there is an infusion of Asian cuisine in the menu. So that's just amazing. I'm sure it's going to be devoured. And I'll be, more than happy to visit those days. And thank you so much for all the effort you put in.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
Thank
I'm
you.
sure there's a lot of seniors that are like, wait, they're doing ramen bowls now that I'm leaving.
I heard that and I thought of my girls who are in college now.
Well, they would have gotten the chance this last month. We tried it twice, and it was very popular.
So thank you for the great report. And I think a couple of initiatives that I particularly like is the professional development for our food service workers, for the whole department, for anybody who's interested. I know that our teachers get a lot of professional development. And when the Chef-Ann contracts came to the board for approval, I was really excited to see that. So I'm glad we're taking advantage of professional development for our food service workers. And then in terms of goals, I'm excited too to hear about more of the scratch cooking, because I think that's definitely going to be beneficial for our students in terms of preservatives and salt content and things like that. So and hopefully, they'll really enjoy it and get all the nutritional benefits from homemade
Sure
cooking.
they will.
Yeah,
But they don't
thank
have
you.
to worry. There's still some of their favorites we're not getting rid of.
Thank you very much. Item 10, action items. Item A, consider approval of declaration of need of fully qualified educators for the 2025-2026 school year. Staff report, please.
Yes, we do this annually, as do every school district in California. With the teacher shortage and the competition for competitive quality teachers, this allows us to take talented people with some credentialing and hire them while they're working through their credential programs. You are familiar with the terms PIPs, STIPs, and Probe Zeros. And this approval, which we recommend, will allow us to continue that practice.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the board?
I'll move to approve declaration of need of fully qualified educators for the 2025-2026 school year.
Second.
I heard trustee Daniel louder. Based on a motion by trustee Olson and a second by trustee Daniel, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries with 5 ayes and no nos. Item B, consider approval of Aries SIS renewal agreement for student information system and parent communication services grades TK to 12 for the 2025-2026 school year, $127,808.84. Staff report, please.
Yes, this is our student information system and impacts pretty much every department. It also is the cornerstone of our CalPADS reporting system. The one-year renewal will allow us to keep using this program.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the board? I'll take a motion.
Move to approve of Aries SIS renewal agreement for student information systems and parent communication services, grades TK through 12 for the 2025-26 school year, $127,808.84.
Second.
Based on a motion by trustee Pombo and a second by trustee Modi, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with 5 ayes and no nos. Item C, consider approval of renewal agreement with CDW Government for Go Guardian licenses for the 2025-2026 school year. Total cost $113,967. Staff report, please.
Go Guardian was an innovative program when we brought it in and commandeered by Mr. Faubert when he was running the high school. And its original intent was to help us make sure that the kids on the one-to-one initiative were on the right programs. Word of mouth is one of the greatest feedback tools you get in a public education system. And word got out that it was working really well, and it's since then has spread all the way down to kindergarten. Teachers liked at the lower levels to be able to monitor what the kids are doing, making sure someone's not struggling. We added a mental health component to it. So from innovation to an institutional practice, we're very happy with this program. We recommend approval.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the board?
Move to approve the renewal agreement with CDW Government for Go Guardian licenses for the 2025-2026 school year. Total cost $113,967.
Second.
Based on a motion by trustee Daniel and a second by trustee Olson, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with 5 ayes and no nos. Item D, consider approval of a contract with KYA Services to repair and replace the asphalt at Lammersville Elementary School. Total cost $598,475.20. Staff report, please.
I don't know. I don't think I could do any better than Mr. Legrand's enthusiastic report on the asphalt repair at Wickland. So, our Lammersville, I'm sorry. So we recommend it's time to replace some gooey stuff that gets hard.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the board?
Not a question, but do you mind just, you explained it to me previously, and I think it's just good for the public. Can you explain I forgot the exact term, the process that the state has to get this price that it was locked in based on a state program?
I'll defer to Mr. Harrison, who was in charge of that. But yeah, go ahead.
Trustee Modi's referring to the CMAS process?
Yes.
So the California Multiple Awards System is a system that's run by the state of California, and it gives bargaining power to schools to get a fair price and a previously agreed upon price for contracts for different stuff that happens at school sites. This is one of them. So KIA uses the amount that's agreed to in the CMAS contract, and that's what they charge us.
That's great. I think it saves us a lot of time from a bidding and RFP process, and it helps us ensure that our funds are spent wisely. So thank you for the explanation.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any additional comments?
I'll move to approve a contract with KYA Services to repair and replace the asphalt at Lammersville Elementary School. Total cost $598,475.20.
Second. I think Trustee Modi beat me.
All right, I'll give it to him, although you were louder. Okay, based on a motion by Trustee Olson and a second by Trustee Modi, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with 5 ayes and no noes. Item E, consider approval of contract with KAYA Services to recoat roofs at Wickland Elementary School. Total cost $462,366.64. Staff report.
Again, I'll defer to Mr. Legrand's presentation. We recommend approval.
Any questions or comments from the board?
Move to approve of contract with KYA Services to recoat roofs at Wickland Elementary School. Total cost $462,366.64.
Second.
Based on a motion by Trustee Pombo and a second by Trustee Modi, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with 5 ayes and no noes. Item F, consider approval of contract with Chesney Engineering Incorporated to complete a soil suitability study and on-site wastewater treatment system, OTWS, design and operational parameters report at Lammersville Elementary School. Total cost $15,960. Any additional report other than what?
Yeah, I do. Mr. Legrand entitled this project Let It Flow, and this is the first step of a two-step process. The study will determine the soil suitability, and then will come a bigger bid for the replacement and the actual put in of the septic tank.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the board?
Move to approve contract with Chesney Engineering Incorporated to complete a soil suitability study and on-site wastewater treatment system design and operational parameters report at Lammersville Elementary School for a total cost of $15,960.
Second.
Based on a motion by Trustee Modi and a second by Trustee Daniel, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with 5 ayes and no noes. Item G, consider approval of contract with RNC Residential and Commercial Lighting to install new LED lighting at Wickland Elementary School. Total cost $67,343. Any additional staff report?
Yeah, I just want to point out something that this is an example of the innovative work that happens in our district. We have a state decision, logic on one side, feel good on the other side, and a complete block of anything that's inexpensive for us to execute. We get the lowest amount of LCFF funding. We have to dole out money with an eyedropper unless you run food services and you're always swimming in money. So the team came up with a plan, which I think is brilliant. We're going to fix Wickland to meet the criteria, and we're going to take all the usable parts, and we're going to make the other schools last as long as possible. A lot of districts would simply just put money aside, spend it, and we will be able to do more for our facilities with this identified money because we're using an innovative idea, which is to repurpose perfectly usable materials over the next schools. Eventually, we'll have to do this at all school sites, but this buys us time and money. So we want to thank our team out there for thinking outside of the box, and I want to also recommend approval.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the board?
Move to approve of the 2025, or move to approve of a contract with RNC Residential and Commercial Lighting to install new LED lighting at Wickland Elementary School. Total cost $67,343.
Second.
Based on a motion by trustee Olson and a second by trustee Pombo, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with 5 ayes and no noes. Item H, consider approval of 2025-2026 outdoor education science camp agreements for LUSD K-8 school sites for Altamont, Bethany, Cordis, Costa, Hanson, Lammersville, Cuesta, and Wickland. Staff report, please.
We love science camp. We recommend approval.
Any questions or comments from the board?
I just want to say that today a 5th grade representative during his ASB election speech was saying, if you elect me to be your representative, I'm going to bring in more science camps. So,
Did he say he's going to bring funding as well?
yes. He was very specific on the funding. And if it's excess, then we can use it for something else. So he was covering everything.
It's a lot of
But
candy
that's-
fundraisers to
Sounds
do.
like we have a politician in the making.
Okay, I'll take a motion.
Move to approve the 2025-2026 outdoor education science camp agreements for LUSD K-8 sites, Altamont, Bethany, Cortez, Costa, Hanson, Lammersville, Cuesta, and Wickland. I didn't do the math on the total.
Second.
Based on a motion by trustee Modi and a second by trustee Daniel, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with 5 ayes and no noes. Item I, consider approval renewal of a 1-year contract with Newsella for supplemental levelized reading articles for grades 3 through 8 ELA in science and 9 through 12 ELA for the 25-26 school year. Total cost $72,738. Staff report.
Yes, this is another innovative program used in our district. It's essentially it's really good for kids who are slightly below grade level to access information that's age appropriate. It's very popular. The teachers love to use it, and we recommend approval.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the board?
Move to approve renewal of a 1-year contract with Newsella for supplemental levelized reading articles for grades 3 through 8 ELA in science and 9 through 12 ELA for the 2025-2026 school year. Total cost $72,738.
Second.
Based on a motion by trustee Pombo and a second by trustee Olson, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries with 5 ayes and no noes.
Preston, before we
Yes.
go on to the calendar, I would like to go back to E. And I did see that in the printed copy, we, instead of a decimal point, there's a comma there. And I checked online if it was the same where the agenda was publicized. So maybe it's a typo, and I think we need to fix it because it changes
We'll
to
address
a
it.
million. Yeah, thank you.
Item 11, calendar. Item A, Monday, May 26th is Memorial Day holiday. The district facilities are closed. Item B, Friday, May 30th is the last instructional day of the school year. That came fast. Item C, Wednesday, June 4th is the next regular governing board meeting at 7 o'clock here in the district office. And item D, Friday, June 6th is a special board meeting. It's board workshop at 10 o'clock in the Professional Development Center. There are no closed session agenda items for today. So at this time, I will take a motion to adjourn our meeting.
Move
Can
to
I
adjourn.
Can I make one comment? Sorry. I neglected to say this during my board report. I will miss the June 4th meeting as a reminder. I'll be traveling back from the Midwest.
Thank you. Okay, I think I heard a motion by trustee
Second.
Olson. Thank you. Based on a motion by trustee Olson and a second by trustee Pombo, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are now adjourned at 7:59 PM. Thank you, everyone.